Okay, I'm back here with trial attorney and federal litigator Robin Nunn, but also joining the conversation is criminal defense attorney and civil rights attorney Tyler Bailey. So Tyler, good to see you. The best that I can make of this is they have a number that I think it's Melly's mother's phone, and they're basically associating him with using it. And two things that stood out to me. One is that the language he is using and the terms is that of somebody from the G-Shine Bloods. And then, I think more importantly, is this idea that he can't just be using this to up his street cred. They can't just be part of the G-Shine Bloods to help his image and help his career. He's got to really be a part of it, because if you're not a part of it, that's dangerous for him. And so I think that's an important narrative to be putting forward by the prosecution to show he needs to prove he is really a part of this gang. What do you think about what we're hearing from these line of text messages?
Well, I think that they're really trying to lay a foundation that he is associated with the gang that's in question during this case. I mean, she's going through a lot of depths of using certain lingo that's being used, whether it's words that are used commonly for Bloods and Crips, to show that this isn't just something that he just said on a one-off instance, but this is something that's commonly used. And most people know that if you're affiliated with a gang, you don't allow people to use gang language with you who are not part of the gang. I think it's really going to lay that foundation about those aggravated factors that we knew the prosecution was going to bring eventually.
Tyler, let me go back to you on something with Detective Polo. Aside from the substance of what he was saying, so much was made about his appearance. He was wearing a mask that covered his entire face except his eyes for safety purposes because he was part of the gang unit. Defense took issue with this. They said it's a violation of their client's constitutional right, the confrontation clause. He has a right to actually confront the witnesses against him. Then we find out earlier this morning that his wife has apparently posted his photo online through the Cash app. He's taken the mask off. But we're not showing his face. The judge asked us not to show his face for whatever more security reasons there could be. And the question becomes, since he didn't take his mask off in other trials, like the XXS Tentacion trial, where he testified with the mask on, or even more recently, Scott Peterson out in Florida, does the fact that he kept the mask on for those cases, and given what has happened this morning, does that jeopardize those cases in any way?
I think it could possibly jeopardize those cases. I think it certainly gives an issue for appeal that the defense maybe will use in this case. I would take issue with the mask being on. It leads the jurors to believe this is something, or the defendant is inherently dangerous and scary, right? He using a ski mask that the state's witness cannot even testify without the mask on. And then you go back and look at these other cases where he testified without his mask on. I think if I was the defense counsel on those, I would probably try to use it on some way to try to help my clients out. It's definitely could be used on both ends. I think it's definitely an issue for the defense here and their right to be able to approach and question any witness who's testifying against the defendant. And I think the judge made the right decision on requiring it to be removed.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, might be able to get our very own boots on the ground, Terry Austin, with us to talk about what's been happening in that courtroom. So stay with us here on Law and Crime. We've got a lot more for you.